This game is a digital escape room, basically a set of puzzles online, and through the puzzles players will unlock the history of Bath. So it's going to be through a series of geological, historical moments, social, economical. So it's really through puzzles, so simple puzzles through which players will discover Bath.
This is a different opportunity, a different way of looking at the narrative of our objects, and to work with other museums in the area is always a pleasure.
And we wanted to do something to try and connect these museums a little bit better. Because we're a games company and we work with serious games, we wanted to do that through games and play. So first thing we did was get a bunch of museums together who are on the smaller side perhaps, and really then start to unpack what this story could be about. This interesting, coherent narrative just sort of emerged, and we kind of worked with that and tuned it. And then from there, it was about developing the artwork, the technical aspects of the game, testing and all of that lovely stuff, and we end up with something which we're really proud of.
We've got no experience with digital escape rooms, a bit like the other museums, more than likely, so it's really nice to sort of be hand-led into this. And I feel like Echo Games have been brilliant because they've really listened to the details of our collection, what makes this unique, and they're really helping us to celebrate that and find those connections with other museums, which is so important, to sort of make heritage a landscape, not kind of individual institutions, but it becomes part of our daily lives.
We tend to be criticised for constantly looking backwards, but this maybe is something that we need to keep an eye on, the moving target of interpretive technology.
When you're making games for museums, apart from the fact that this is a standalone product and it has to be interesting on its own, engaging on its own, if that product is within the museum as well, there's also so many ways you can connect it to the exhibition and make it interact with other things and essentially guide the player, the user, through the exhibition.
We can then expose bits of the collection. This will then give people a taster of what we've got, and again, they may not visit, they may just be fascinated by what they see and move on, but if they do visit, they'll see more about it and they'll also see all the other things we've got to offer.
I think museums can be seen as quite static buildings. They have certain demographics which they attract. Then there's other people we don't really see in museums, we call these non-users. And I think this game is a really good way to break down some of those barriers and allow us to share our story, because actually everything when you get down to it on a sort of molecular level is very interesting. So it's about trying to reach new people really, and seeing what grabs us about our stories and how they can relate that to their life.
The more digital content we create and the more of our digital collection we put online and the more we collaborate interpreting the story in different, more accessible digital ways, the more people can access it. So having a game is an even more attractive way of those people getting back in touch with the story that they've just had an inkling of when they come here in person.
This project really helped them coming together, especially smaller museums that don't have much time, they don't have nobody is really organizing events for them to come in together, especially during the pandemic, right? So this was an occasion for them to really talk. And actually, I think this project opened up, like probably in a couple of years we're going to see some exhibitions that were born during the project. So, I think this was positive in general for them.
It's pushed us really to think a little bit beyond just the game output, to think about the community that we're generating through projects like this. So the other side of Echo Games is really the work we do with other sectors. So we know from the history of serious games that games can really support the health sector, can support conservation, really anything you want to turn your mind to, quite frankly. Games are this powerful, amazing storytelling tool that can inspire and inform. So we want to keep doing that work, working with whoever needs our help, quite frankly. As a CIC, that's what we're here to do.